Hello and welcome, or welcome back to another edition of McKay Yoga. Today we're going to be focused on doing some yoga that will be good to promote a healthy back, a healthy spine. So typically, people complain about back pain, and that's one of the reasons why they come to yoga is to relieve their back pain. And so, what we'll do are back bends. Believe it or not, back bends help with the back. That do back extension. So strong back. Also, in order to keep your back healthy, it's good that you do some core work. And as you know, I do some videos with the core as well. So to begin, it'd be great if you had a couple of blocks and a strap. And I'm just going to tell you some exercises that you can do to either prevent back pain, or when you're having issues with your back, you can do these postures. You know, maybe you slept funny, maybe you did a class too strong, maybe you're moving some things around in the house. Anything can cause back pain. Even emotional stress can cause back pain. So we'll start in child's pose, and I'll show you a couple of things to do. This will be a short video. It's not going to be very long. And I'll show you variations in back bends and things that you can do to keep your back healthy and strong. Let me just turn on one more light, and then we'll start in child's pose. Okay, child's pose. I'll keep my head up so that you can hear me, because sometimes when my head is down, you cannot hear me as clearly. So if you're having issues with the back, they tell you not to do a lot of forward bending. And believe it or not, the back extension will help you with your back. You don't want to do forward and back, forward and back. So just a very brief child's pose. And in child's pose, you can explore whether you want to have your knees together, knees farther apart. It depends on what's happening in your back body, right? So this is all about yoga for your back, right? So you want to lengthen from your pubic bone out to the crown of the head and extend out. As you inhale, shift your weight forward. As you exhale, round your spine, dome your upper back to the ceiling. Inhale, scoop your chest forward. Then when you exhale, bring your elbows down, then your butt to your heels. Inhale, come forward. It's kind of like a moving cat-cow. Exhale, arch your back. Inhale, dome the spine. Exhale, elbows come down, bottom comes down. One more time. Inhale, come forward. You can lift the chin, arch your back. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, scoop the chest forward. Exhale, elbows down, butt down. One more time. Inhale, come forward, lift the chin, arch the back a little bit, not excessive. Exhale, round the spine, dome the upper back to the ceiling. Inhale, scoop your chest forward. Exhale, elbows down, butt to the ground, pause. This time when you inhale, come forward. When you exhale, bend your elbows and come all the way down to the ground. So we'll continue with Sphinx pose. And I'll show you some things that you can do with your blocks that will help you with your back body. So in Sphinx pose, the hands, the forearms, and the elbows, they're about shoulder width apart. Your feet can be completely together. That's if you have a healthy back. But for most feet about hip socket distance, that's like for everyone. That's probably the safest for the back. Now you're going to press into the hands, press into the forearms and the elbows, and try to lift the chest, right? Your pubic bone will press down and the lower back will lengthen towards your feet. Stay here, inhale. So holding Sphinx pose, more of a static movement. And then exhale, we'll lower and bring the hands in line for cobra, bhujangasana. And here we'll do some dynamic movement. So draw the elbows towards one another. Your fingertips are going to be in line with your chest. As you inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest. I want you to press your feet so much down that the shins, the knees, and parts of your thighs lift from the ground. Exhale to lower. You can kind of tuck the chin a little bit. As you inhale, like you're moving a marble with your nose, lift your heart, lift your chest. As you exhale, lower down. We'll do two more like that. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. So now we'll stay in cobra, but we'll do an arm variation, right? So as you inhale, lift to cobra. As you exhale, come up to your fingertips. Now inhale, lift the chest just an inch more. As you exhale, try to hollow the belly from the floor. Stay here, inhale. Then when you exhale, hover the hands above the ground, right? So you're going against gravity, so it's hard. It's very hard to maintain that lift because gravity wants to pull you down to the ground. Stay here, inhale. Exhale to lower. So now we'll do some variations of Shalabhasana, the locus pose. Here's where you could use your props. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my hands on the blocks, and we're going to alternate lifting up limbs, right? So many ways to do Shalabhasana, the locus. I'm going to start with my blocks on the lowest height, and I'm going to make my arms straight. So the hands are going to be shoulder distance apart, and I'm pressing into my hands to be aware that as I press in my hands, my feet, I'm going to be able to lift my chest, right? So inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest. I'm pressing the hands down, I'm pressing the feet down. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. So now as you lift up, as you inhale, the blocks kind of drag towards you. Exhale to lower. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. So as promised, now we're going to alternate lifting up limbs. Do you have to be on blocks? No, I'm just putting my hands on blocks so hopefully you can see a little bit better. As you inhale, lift the right arm and the left leg. So those limbs are moving in opposition. Exhale to lower. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale to lower. So I have my thumbs pointing up, the other fingertips pointing forward like I'm shaking someone's hand. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Ideally, your right ear would be in line with your right upper arm. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale to lower. 1 more each side. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, lower, pause, and then move your props to one side. Now you're going to take your arms and let them be along the sides of your body, right? So the arms are going to be long. Still a variation of Shalabhasana. Right? Postures that are really good for your back body, your spine. Have your palms face down, just like they did on the block, but now they're on the mat, and the thumbs are pointing out to the right and left. This time we're going to lift the chest and lift the legs. We're going to keep the hands pressing down. As you inhale, lift the heart, lift the legs. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the legs. Exhale, lower. Just a few more like that. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the leg. Lengthen your lower back and your tailbone towards your feet. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the legs. Now imagine you have a block in between the feet. We'll do that later. Exhale to lower. 1 more time. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the legs. The inner thighs are spinning up towards the ceiling. Your sitting bones are reaching towards your feet. Stay here. Inhale, hollow the belly. Try to move it away from the floor. Exhale, lower. So hopefully you feel some heat being generated at your back body. So now we're just going to take it up a notch. And we're going to move into a deeper back bend, upward facing dog with the use of the blocks, right? So you're going to bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Pardon me, curl your toes under, push the floor away. You're going to lift the hips up and back, plank pose. And then lift the hips up and back, downward dog pose. What I meant to say, you're going to lift away from the floor, plank. Then the hips go up and back, downward dog pose. As you inhale, lift your heels up high. As you exhale, bring your right foot forward, lower your left knee down. Right? So we'll do a little bit of hip flexor stretch to prepare us for our upward dog. Bring your hands to your outer hips, take an inhale. And now when you exhale, bring your arms behind you, interlace the fingers with one another. So here's my arms. I could do this with my belly down for a variation of Shalabhasana, chest expansion, right? We're just doing it from a lunge. Stay here, inhale. Lift the heart, lift the chest, lift the gaze. And then exhale, lower. Bring your hands to frame your front foot, curl the back toes under, lift the back knee, step back plank, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Come up high to the heels, draw the left knee in towards you, left foot forward, right knee down. As you inhale, lift the torso up. So lift up and out of the sides of your waist. Interlace the fingers with each other the non-dominant way. And another chest expansion. Again, you could do your arms like this in Shalabhasana. Lift the heart, lift the chest, lift the gaze, stay here, inhale. And then exhale, bring your hands down, curl your back toes under, back knee lifts, step back to plank, lift your hips up and back, downward dog. Now as you inhale, come forward to plank. As you exhale, your knees can come down first, bend your elbows, come all the way down to the ground. Find your blocks once again. And this time we're going to come into up dog from the ground up. my hands are going to be on the blocks, right? So I'm taking the hands, they're by my ribs, and then as I come up, I'm going to adjust because I want my shoulders to be right over the creases of my wrists, which means my hands and the blocks are probably going to shift back a little bit towards my bottom floating ribs, right? And now inhale, come up to up dog, right? So now I'm moving the fronts of my arms towards the backs of my arms. I'm lengthening my lower back towards my feet. I'm pushing down to the ground to lift from the ground. I'll do that one more time. Push down, lift away from the ground. Soft gaze forward, stay here, inhale. Then when you exhale, you can roll over your toes, come back to downward dog pose. So that one, I'm going to pause on my knees for a second. That one is a deeper back bend, right? So you might have to work up to upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Let's go back a little bit and do another variation of Shalabhasana, kind of like we did on the ground in the lunge, but let's use a block in between the feet. So because these are wooden blocks and they're a little bit slippery, I'm going to just move and use my foam block. These are all Manduka blocks. It's your preference whether you want foam or wood. So, let me show you. The block I'm using in between my feet, and I'm going to call this skinny. So this would be wide. This is skinny. Hopefully you can see the difference. So I'm taking the width of the block skinny at the arches of my feet. And we're going to do a variation of Shalabhasana with the block at the feet. Come back to laying on your bellies. Like we did in that lunge, bring your arms behind you, interlace the fingers with each other. If it was difficult for you to interlace the fingers with each other, you could use a strap, a towel, a belt in between your hands. Now, as you inhale, lift the arms away from the ground. As you exhale, squeeze that block with your feet, and then inhale, lift the chest. Now, imagine someone had your hands, and they were drawing your hands towards your feet. The block at the ankles is to remember to lift the inner thighs and lengthen the lower back towards your feet. And also to remind you that you're pressing all 10 toenails on the mat. Stay here, inhale. Exhale to lower. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, push into the floor, come up to sit. So, and I'm going to change the block to that wide so that I can sit down. You could experiment. I'll show you with this block. It might be easier to see. You could experiment whether it feels better for you to keep the block narrow in between your feet or wide in between your feet, right? Because each body is different. It's not one size fits all. You have to do what works for you. And again, these are postures that are going to help you with your back body to promote a healthy spine, yoga for your back. Really important. We'll do one more variation of Shalabhasana, and it will be to lift all of the limbs up. And I'm going to lift all of the limbs up with the block in between my feet, right? So come back to all fours, and then you're going to bend your elbows and come all the way down to the ground. Reach your arms forward. Can you see? I got back up. Reach your arms forward. And then as you inhale, lift up all of your limbs. As you exhale, bring the arms behind you. Reach your arms towards your feet. As you inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest. See if you can have your thumbs spin out. As you exhale, firm onto that block. Yes, the glutes are working, but you're not overly working the glutes. Stay here, inhale. Then exhale, lower. And then we'll do one more down dog. So we'll go into it from up dog, then to down dog. Inhale, up dog. I still got a hold of that block. Exhale, I roll over my toes. I still have a hold of that block. I pause, I breathe, and then I lower my knees. Have a seat and bring your legs out in front of you. One last thing to do, just a supported bridge pose. So what if the back is really tender and these back extensions that I suggested, you're just not ready for them. Maybe you could use a block underneath your lower back and sacrum. Hopefully you can see, let me do this a little bit better. Lower back and sacrum, and you could be in a supported back bend. What if the block is too much? Maybe you take legs up against the wall. So there's always something that can be done, right? Try to stay connected with your breath and try to identify what area of the back body that needs work and what postures are going to serve you the best, right? And then hopefully one of these postures in this video will serve you, and you can use it over and over. So these are just little tools that you have in your bag that you can pull out at any time. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, lift your hips up, remove the block. Gently draw the knees in, and like your knees have a paintbrush, just kind of circle the knees around in the hip socket. And then reverse direction of those circles. So you're just kind of, moving your back body, massaging it, and kind of like the circumference of the sacrum, kind of circling around the rim of the sacrum. Draw the knees in, lift the forehead up, inhale. Then exhale, lift the legs up, roll up to boat pose briefly, cross at your ankles, have a seat. So yoga for your back. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to put that in the chat. Looking forward to doing more videos in 2021. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I'm here every Saturday. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste. Peace out, yogis. And ciao for now.